And welcome back. We're back here with Gone Home, and we're gonna finish up the director's commentary, and then potentially other things. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out as it comes, shall we? Alright then, let us begin. So, the first thing you might notice is, my very distinct progress stacking things on top of lamps has all been undone, and I am rather sad about that. But, what are you gonna do? I'm just glad I got it all on film, on camera, from last game. Let's just get, Verde Muerte. There we go. There he is. There's that handsome little skull man. There he is. Hello. Let's face him the other way. Alright, I know we went down this way. Grabbed that one. Grabbed that one. I think we left off somewhere in here. Ideals. Writing Sam. That I also don't have gotten. And I went in here. Put that there.
Definitely the second half was where a lot more of the emotional weight in the character came out, and that was a lot to handle, but a lot of fun to do too, because I've really not gotten to do a character that actually was so, I guess, emotionally real and so human. You know, it's you're not doing some commercial selling you thing, or not doing some sort of sci-fi fantasy world sort of story. It was very realistic and very relatable, and you sort of realize that the character's someone that you could know or that you could have been, you know, when you were younger, which I really liked. It was very exciting. The whole experience has been really good.
Alright. Sam, your mother and I will be away for a long weekend celebrating your anniversary, June 3rd to 7th. Camping in the gorge, but we will give you a call on the way home. So, kitchen mid-renovation, never trust a contract, $40 on the table to order pizza while we're gone. Be good. She was not.
I asked Lonnie what she had to do to get ready to ship out for basic training. She said, not a lot, really. You're not allowed to bring anything with you. You have no possessions, no contact with the outside world while you're in basic. You just train hard every day, and then you deploy from there. So, they'll just send her away. To who knows where. The other side of the country? The other side of the world? My mind, can't process it. That she's really going to be gone. Just gone.
Alright, so we missed that one the first time round, but I'm glad we grabbed it this time round. Greasy pizza box. The kitchen is talking about how it was on renovation. I went down here.
So that was probably the hardest one we had to record. It was part of the second batch of recording we did. And so I had the script a few days before we did the recording to kind of read through it all and get a feel for where the story was going. And then we'd met for lunch, to go over everything and see if I had any questions before we went into the studio. And I just right away admitted, like, yep, some part of this script here, like, I'll be honest, one of these totally had me crying, like, straight up, totally couldn't help it. Figuring, like, yeah, I had my cry out, it was good, I'll be fine, get to the recording, it'll be good, you know, get it out of your system. And as soon as, like, I read the first word, I was like, no, oh God, I'm gonna start crying again, it's gonna be great. I'm like, hey, I'm a professional voice actress in the studio, I'm going to totally bawl all over your lines, and it's going to sound ridiculous and terrible, and we're going to have to do the take again, and it's going to sound even worse, because now I'm crying. So, it actually ended up being one take. Really, it's cathartic in a way for me, I think. Because it's really, how do I put it? It's really me talking to, like, specific people. I knew it was going to happen again. I knew it. It's the stupid writing being so on point. Which is great, I mean, you know, definite praise for the character build-up at this point, because I just become so connected with her, and making those parallels all the way along. And then you get to this point where it's like, I know exactly how you feel. Like, I know exactly what you're going through. I mean, it was completely authentic. I mean, I've enjoyed people commenting on the connection they've had to the emotion that's in the character. And this is always the diary I think of, because it's the one that it most got me.
Let's have a re-listen to this diary entry. Oh. Maybe it's because we already listened to it. I think this is the one where the last night.
I'd already played through the first full half of Gone Home before I started composing any music, which was really important to understand how the game felt and played and looked. But I didn't get a build of the complete game until I'd already been delivered the Part 2 audio logs, and then ended up not playing any of the second half of the game until it was fully complete and I'd written all the music. This wasn't originally my intention, but it meant I ended up fully immersed in Sam's story, essentially to the exclusion of all the other subplots of the game, which are not accompanied by specific music. I don't know if that was objectively the right call or not as the composer, but it definitely made me feel very connected to that character. I probably heard Sarah delivering Sam's story dozens or maybe hundreds of times over. It also meant I didn't actually know the literal implications of the ending of Sam's story, so I was imagining all kinds of potential endings that ended up being a lot darker than what you see when you finally do reach the attic. So as a player, when I did complete the game, I was pretty relieved.
Oh, I'm glad to know I was not the only one. I'm very glad to know that it wasn't just me who thought that bad things were going to be up there. Alright, let's go in here. Greenhouse.
We didn't really give Kate very specific direction for this. She gave us some reference for us to approve and everything, but when we put it into the game, again, not a request from us at all, looking at the struts and the shape of the windows and how it's this sort of deco metal structure with water outside of it, I was just like, welcome to Rapture.
Oh my God, so true.
It almost feels
Really
like
is true.
an intentional reference, if only it were intentional.
No, I totally see it now. It's great.
So you want to talk about this fucking jazz mug?
Nobody wants to talk about the jazz mug.
Jazz mug.
It's the worst.
Carla.
I
Jazz
hate
mug.
it. It's the worst.
I love it.
That was
It's
such a
great.
common theme
Yeah.
when we were like approving assets or making
Yeah.
stuff visually for Gone Home. Is just like, oh my god, that's hideous. I fucking hate it. We're putting it in the game.
Yeah, there's
It's
so
like
much
just like
of that.
awful '90s furniture and like the
We see it in a secondhand store or like
or you
just
see
on
it in the
internet.
Sears catalog
Like,
we
yeah,
bought,
also
and it's just
true.
like there's
We
so
just
many
feel like,
fucking
ugh,
ruffles on it. I want
ugh.
to puke. Like the wicker furniture in
Yeah.
Mom and Dad's room.
Right.
It's like that's fucking hideous.
We need it.
Yeah, jazz mug. All right. So welcome, everybody. Oh, let's get the chat open. And there. Okay. Let's continue on, shall we? Oh, I cannot go through this door. I suppose the next logical place. But I realized while I was doing a quick walkthrough again, I had forgotten a room upstairs. And I'm a big dummy head for doing that. So we're gonna go upstairs. And we are we're gonna go upstairs. And we're gonna see what that one has to say. Ba, 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 ba. This one, over here. And here it is.
I mean, one of the most comforting things in the world to me is having somebody, like, brush my hair or stroke my head. Like, my mom, when I wasn't feeling well, I could lie down in her lap and she would just brush my hair. And it would always make me feel better. Like, the weirdest way. I couldn't figure out why, but it just seemed like this friendly connection to somebody that it is, like she says, it is strangely intimate in a way that I'd not really, I guess, put into words until reading that part of the script. Where that's what I was thinking of, was like,
Are you
that
kidding
connection,
me?
that sort of human touch, that it's something so
can someone
friendly
please tell me if they can hear
and
that?
so loving that you
Those
can do.
fireworks now
You
going
know, that
off.
whole idea of, like, touching someone's scalp being so intimate, it just made me think of that. Just those wonderful little moments where just a touch can be so much more.
The boxes of tampons that you
Damn
can
it.
find in the washrooms around the house.
Alright, give me a minute, guys.
They weren't originally on the list of items that needed to be modeled, but when you're creating a bathroom at that level of fidelity, and when you're creating a bathroom for a teenage girl, no less, the idea of not having something like that is kind of jarring, or was kind of jarring to me. Especially because when you're at that age, your period is something that kind of really defines your mood at any given day, and maybe what you wear and where you go. So, I just thought it was, something necessary for visual storytelling, especially of a girl going through what she's going through.
A lot of Gone Home is about pointless interactivity that is sort of things being interactive for the sake of them being interactive, but it really comes from our inspirations of immersive sims like System Shock and Bioshock and Thief, where a big part of the design philosophy behind those games and Gone Home is that the world needs to be really internally consistent, and there's this feeling that if there's something that your character might do, you should be able to do it in the game. So in Bioshock, for instance, you can flush all the toilets and you can turn on all of the faucets, and that's also true